Hello again, our most valued student. My name is Confident. Welcome to Egorland Tech College. This lesson is an excerpt or is a short lesson of the question paper that was written in November 2017, and it brings the solution of these. As I said, this is a short lesson. It does not have the whole question paper. However, it has got some of the solutions that were presented for this question paper. Now, if you want the whole of this video, we have it available for you. You can request it from us by sending us an email to info@egorlandtech.co.za, or you can visit our website, which is www.egorlandtech.co.za, or you can call us on 011 040 7343. Now, we are selling these videos for a fraction of a price, but they can go a long way in preparing you for your mathematics N3 final exam. So just for a fraction of a price, you can get a compiled version of these videos, including the whole curriculum for the mathematics N3, as well as these previous question papers and their memorandums, both in video form as well as in PDF form. Now, please note that errors may be present in these answers or the memorandum that is provided. Should there be any errors, please note that these are not the responsibility of the Department of Higher Education and Training, but it is the responsibility of the person who made the memo. In this case, it is me. Now, should you pick up any errors, please do not hesitate to notify us, and we will also make the necessary changes. And also, please, no part of this video may be reproduced in any form. So, as I said, you can request these videos from us and we'll be able to sell them to you at a fraction of a price so that you avoid the copyright issues. Now, as I previously mentioned, this is the question paper that was written in November 2017. It was a morning paper and it's for mathematics in N3. Now, it is very important before you start your exam to always read the instructions and information. One thing to note that the mathematics N3 is out of 100 marks and the time taken to complete the paper is 3 hours. Now, the most important instruction, of course, read and answer all the questions. Read all questions carefully. Number the answers according to the numbering system used in this question, so don't bring your own numbering. Questions may be answered in any order, but keep the subsections together. What do they mean? Suppose you feel like you are good in question number 2 and you want to start with question number 2. You can answer the whole of question number 2, including its subsections, for example, 2.1, 2.2 until 2.5. You have to answer it all at once. You can start with that particular question, provided you will answer everything pertaining to question number 2. Then let's say question number 6 is your next question. So from question number 2, you can go to question number 6 and also answer everything, including its subsections, just like that until you answer the whole question paper. The order is not necessary, but keeping the subsections is necessary. Again, please remember, show all calculations and their intermediary steps. Don't leave out some solutions in a rough paper that you'll be writing. It may be in the question paper or at the back of your answer book. All graph work must be done in the answer book. There is no graph work needed, so you need to bring your ruler and a pencil to draw your graphs. All final answers must be accurate, approximated to 3 decimal places, if ever there are decimal places. The diagrams are not drawn to scale. You must write neatly and legible. They can penalize you for clumsy writing. So now, let's come and look at the first question. The first question is, factorize the following as far as possible in prime factors. So if I can write that, what they gave there was 9x squared plus 12xy plus 4y squared minus 25c squared. Remember, they say factorize as far as possible in prime factors. Now, what you're noting is, let us look at the first 3 of these. you will discover that it is a square, which becomes 3x plus 2y and 3x plus 2y minus 25c squared. If you expand that 3x times 3x, you get back the 9x squared. 3x times 2y, which is 6xy, plus another 3x times 2y, which is 6xy, plus 6xy, you get back the 12xy. Then 2y times 2y is 4y squared. So if you expand this, you get the top. Now you can see that this is a square, which becomes 3x plus 2y squared minus 25 is same as 5c. You can put it also as a square, bringing us to the difference of two squares. As you can see, that is the difference of two squares. Now, what is the difference of two squares? You write the first bracket, which is 3x plus 2y, because it's in the square, minus 5c, and 3x plus 2y plus 5c. This will be the final answer they were expecting from you. So if ever they are marking you, they would have given you the factorizing as well as those two brackets. Now, if you want to know more of this factorizing the difference of two squares in different versions, as I said, we have got more videos for each and every section under N3 mathematics, so that you can practice, so that whenever you come to this section, these 3 marks will be easier for you to recognize. Let us move on to the next question, 1.2. We'll start with 1.2.1. Now 1.2.1, it says you have to simplify 2a minus 2b, so that I don't confuse you there. 2a minus 2b over 3a plus 3b divided by, it's a squared minus 2ab plus b squared over a squared minus b squared. So now this is equal to, you can see we are factorizing. Remember, simplifying as far as these algebraic fractions. 2 is common. I'll take out the 2, a minus b. At the bottom, 3 is common. I'm taking out the 3, a plus b. Now, when I put it times, what happens is the top will go to the bottom and the bottom will go to the top. In other words, you interchange the numerator and the denominator. But you can also see that this particular denominator, it is a difference of two squares. When it goes on top, it will be, in this case, it will be bracket a plus b and a minus b all over. Again, when you factorize the top a squared minus 2ab plus b squared, you will see that it is a minus b, it's a square, and a minus b. I'm using the product sum. Again, you can refer to the previous lessons should you be having them for the factorizing of this. So now when you have done that, then you can cancel out what is common. A minus b, a minus b, a minus b, a minus b, a plus b, a plus b. So literally everything cancels out, remaining with a 1. You can see only 2 is remaining on top of 3. So that was the final answer for that, and you get 4 marks. Mainly the 4 marks that they were going to be giving you, they were going to be giving you the 4 marks that they're going to be giving you, they're going to be giving you these 4 marks in simplifying this one, the 2 there, and the final answer. Now moving on, you can see the other one is 3x minus 2 over 2x squared minus that minus that. Let me rewrite it again. Let me pull it down and rewrite it. What they gave us there is 2x minus 3 over 2x squared minus x minus 3 minus 4x plus 5 over 4x squared plus 9x plus 5. Check whether I wrote it correctly. 2x minus x over this is a negative, yes. Now you are subtracting these two fractions. So the first thing that you need to do is to make sure that you simplify these denominators, because you can see that they are not simplified. So let's start with the first one. You can see that using the product sum method, as I said, you can always refer to the previous lessons. This is how I solve it. It's 2x, you can write it in the center, is 2x minus 3 over 2x squared. Now this minus x is same as minus 3x plus 2x minus 3 minus 4x plus 5. I'm using the product and sum method, which is 4x squared. 9x is same as 5x plus 4x, that's 9x plus 5. Now this is equal to 2x minus 3 all over, x is common in the first two, which is 2x minus 3 plus 1, it's 2x minus 3 minus 4x plus 5. I'm doing the same thing I did previously. X is common, there you are going to remain with 4x plus 5 plus 1. I'm using the product sum method, but there are many ways you can solve or factorize. This is factorization. Over, now what is in the bracket is 2x minus 3 and x plus 1 minus 4x plus 5 over 4x plus 5 and x plus 1. Now if you start to see, you can start cancelling 2x minus 3, 4x plus that, you can start cancelling and no longer have space. But you can see now what you are having. If I can just erase a bit there, what you are having here is 1. Okay, let me erase the top part. I'm gonna continue it on the top part. Apologies for that because of my space. So what you're having here left is, I'm gonna divide it so that it doesn't confuse. What you're having here is, I'm linking that to the top. So you're having 1. You're having 1 over x plus 1 minus 1 over x plus 1, and if you subtract the 2 here, the answer was simple as 0. So that is simple how it was ending at the end, and you get your beautiful marks. Now let's move on. It says prove that 2x plus 1 is a factor of the function that, and hence factorize the expression completely. There are two versions. I'm going to show you this one, and then it's up to you to choose. Now the first thing that you need to know, if it's a factor, says proof. So you are given 2x plus 1 is equal to 0. You transpose the 1, divide by 2, you are going to have x is equal to minus a half. Then this means f of minus 1 over 2 is equal to 8. I'm already writing that. From the question they give you, it's cubed plus a 4. I hope it can be clear. It's a squared minus 2. I'm writing that f of x minus 2, where there is x, I'm substituting with a half. So you get that 0. When you get it as a 0, what it simply means, it is saying, therefore, 2x plus 1 is a factor. That's what is of f of x. That is what that statement, that 0 is saying. So now when you have gotten this particular 0, it's not the end. What you need to do is you then need to continue to factorize the expression completely, because it says hence. So hence means from what you are given, continue and factorize it completely. There is a shorter version that I always use. It's the division method, whereby I do it like this. I put minus half here. Then I write the coefficients. By coefficients, remember the numbers that were before x. In this case, there is an 8, a 4, minus 2, and minus 1. So there is that 8, there is that 4, there is that minus 2. Then you just write minus 1. So if I write those numbers here, I'll have the 8 with the sign is plus 4, then minus 2, then minus 1. Then I'm going to do the long division. The first thing you do is you write the 8, the 1 on 8 given there, you just write it. Any number there is the one that you write. So in this case 8, you write it. Then you start to multiply in this direction. You multiply. You say 8 times minus half. You know that 8 times minus half, using a calculator, to be minus 4. Minus 4 plus, because the plus sign there, minus 4 plus 4, you will get a 0. So it's plus 0. You repeat the same thing. It's the 0 multiplying that now. So what you have is 0 times negative half, it's a 0, and 0 minus 2 is minus 2. You repeat the same step again. It's now minus 2 multiplying that. Minus 2 times minus half, it is a 1. 1 minus 1 is a 0. So what you have now, you are going to have something like this. Remember the first factor, and if I divide my line, you now have f of x. The first factor was 2x plus 1. Now the second factor is 8 plus 0 minus 2. So 8x, you put a squared, you can do this plus 0x minus 2. This is ideally how it is supposed to be, but you don't have to put this 0x. So the simple thing you can do is to just say 8x minus 2. Then you continue and take out a 2 there. From 8 and 2, you'll have 2x plus 1, and you'll have 4x squared minus 1. Now 4x squared minus 1 is a difference of 2 squares. It will become 2x plus 1. Now 4x squared minus 1 is 2x minus 1 and 2x plus 1. That is the version that they would have wanted you to factorize in that. But now let me write it again so that we can do the other long division method. Remember, you are given, that one was the shorter version that you can always use. 8x cubed plus 4x squared minus 2x minus 1. Remember, now you know that 2x plus 1 is a factor. So what you do, we say it's 2x plus 1 as a particular factor. So what we can do, actually, we'll do our long division here. And then what we have here is 2x plus 1, and then it's 8x cubed plus 4x squared minus 2x minus 1. Then you start dividing. 2x into 8x cubed, you are going to get, I'll use another pen now, 2 into 8 is 4, x into x cubed is x squared Then 4x squared times 2 is 8x cubed. Then 4x squared times 1 plus 4x squared. And then you are going to subtract. Now when you're subtracting 8 minus 8, it's a 0. 4x squared minus 4x squared is a 0. So what you're going to do, you will bring down this negative 2. Continue 2x into minus 2x. It's minus 1. It's minus 1 minus 1 times that. It's minus 2x. It's minus 2x. And then minus 1 times minus 1 is minus 1. Now because there was a 0, you can also bring this negative 1 down here, so that now when you subtract, when you're subtracting now, you put a bracket, it's minus 2x, it's a 0, and minus 1, it's a 0, so you get a 0. So the final version of it, you're going to have f of x is equal to 2x plus 1, as we did previously. As you can see now, 4x squared minus 1. As I said, is a difference of two squares, which is, in this case, when you look at it, in this case, now if you move on, it will be 2x plus 1. In this case now, it's 2x minus 1 and 2x plus 1. So this is what we mean by factorizing, or finding. The question said factorize the expression completely. So but it can be 2x plus 1 squared. You can see 2x plus 1 squared and 2x minus 1. It will still be f of x. Now I just picked up something here to say on this particular method. Now this particular 2, because it's not captured in the other method, this particular 2 then brings in some factors of errors, because if you multiply it back, it will not give you the 8x cubed. If you expand this fraction, 2 times 2 times that will now give us a 16. There's 2. So without going further, maybe you can just discard this one and focus on this particular method. But this method usually it's a method that is effective, it works. There is an error I might have made, but because of time, I'm not going to go back. We'll look at it at some other time. Now let us look at the next question. It says simplify x minus x to the power negative half, x minus 2 plus x power negative 1 to the power half, and that. Now, a few things here to note when you are working on this one is that x to the power negative half is equal to 1 over x. Always remember that. Any number to the power negative 1, to remove it is that. So now what you have here, you will have x minus 2 plus 1 over x to the power half times 1 over then x minus 1 over x to the power half. But all this is also, it is to the power 1 now, because by putting 1 over, it's a matter of getting rid of that negative 1, because this question maybe it's not clear to you. It says x minus 2 minus x to the power negative 1 to the power half multiplied by x minus 1 negative half over x to the power half. That's how it's written in case it's not clear. Now what you need to know in mathematics, when there is 1 over that, this will go on top. And also if we are to add this particular fraction here and simplify it, we are going to have x over x squared minus 2x plus 1. Yes, it is still under a power half. This one is that, times, just that I mixed things up. Now I said this will go on top. It will be x to the power half over x minus 1. That's what you'll be having in a way. Now, if we are to simplify this further, you can refer it further. What you are going to have is you are going to have x squared minus 2x plus 1 over x, just rewriting it again, to the power half, times, remember I said the top will go up on top, over x minus 1. Now what you have, if you simplify this particular trinomial, if you factorize it, you are going to have x minus 1 squared over x, remember everything is to the power half, times x to the power half over x minus 1, which is equal to, this half is same as x minus 1 squared times 1 over 2 over x to the power 1 times 1 over 2, that power affects everything, times x to the power half over x minus 1. Now looking at the cancellation, this will cancel and this and that will cancel. Now in actual fact, now you are having x minus 1 over 1 times 1 over x minus 1, meaning also these will cancel and you get your answer simple as a 1. Moving on, it says solve for x in the following equations. Now when you're solving for x in the following equation, the first one 2.1, it says a to the power x squared minus 5x minus 6. Now because it says minus 1, I'll say equal to 1 and just transpose the 1. The 1 was negative, now it becomes a positive. Now you must always remember any number to the power of 0 is a 1. For example, 100 to the power of 0 is a 1. It means also a to the power of 0 is a 1. Now look what I'm bringing in. This is 4 marks. I'm bringing in a so that the bases are matching. So which means I can say a x squared minus 5x minus 6. To get a 1, I can say a to the power of 0. What is my purpose? When the bases match, then you equate it. So you just have x squared minus 5x minus 6. The top is also equal to the top, so is equal to 0. So you start to factorize here. You are also going to get that this will become, when you simplify it, it will be x minus 6, and the other one it will be x plus 1 is equal to 0. Therefore x is equal to 6, or x is equal to a negative 1. So that simple becomes a solution of that. Remember, you can test your answer. Take the value, for example, put a 6 there. If your proof, this is proof, but it's not supposed to be in the exam, remember though. You say a to the power 6 squared minus 6 minus 6, you will get 1. If you do that, then it means it balances, is correct. Now this is when you're solving. Now one of the questions that had more marks in this particular paper was this log question 2.2, as you can see there. If I can maybe erase this log 2.2, let me just erase actually everything, and let me just erase everything and start it from this point. Now with log 2.2, if you look at this carefully, it says log base 3 square root of x is same as x to the power half plus 1 over 2 is equal to 3 log base x of 3. I'm just wanting to simplify quickly a few things there. Now this, what you need to know first thing is to look at the bases. One is base 3 and one is base x. So now I'm not going to get the time to pull this up because of time, but I'm going to use this formula which says if you're given log base a of b is there in the formula sheet, you can change it to base c as log in base c. The b which is on top will remain on top over log base c. The a will go below. So with the same note, I want to change log base x into log base 3 so that they match. So log base x of 3 will be equal to, I want to make it into base 3, so it will be log base 3 over log base 3 of x. So now I've got two of them, log base 3 of x and log base 3 of x. Using that, I can write this as 1 over 2, remember in logs it drops down, log base 3 of x plus 1 over 2 is equal to 3. Then instead of log base 3 of x, you have log base 3 of 3 over log base 3 of x. That's what you'll be having in that regard. Now with that in mind, of what you'll be having, remember log base 3 of 3 again, log base 3 of 3 is a 1, so it's like 3 times 1. So what you're having here, you'll be having 1 over 2 log base 3 of x plus 1 over 2 is equal to 3 1 over log base 3 of x. Now when you're in this position, you can see that the problem you're still facing is that log base 3 of x in here is still a fraction. So you'll multiply everything by log base 3 of x. So if I can just clear this up, so what am I going to have? I'm multiplying everything by log base 3 of x. So what I will have is, if you take it from here, I'll be using a different pen for log base 3 of x. So I've got log base 3 of x, because that's what I'm using to multiply, multiplying 1 over 2 log base 3 of x plus 1 over 2 is being multiplied by log base 3 of x is equal to 3 over log base 3 of x multiplied by log base 3 of x. This was the simple way to be solving it. Then when you do that, this cancels. Now here you'll be having 1 over 2 log base 3 of x dot log base 3 of x plus 1 over 2 log base 3 of x is equal to 3. And then you say let log base 3 of x be equal to m. So you're going to have 1 over 2 m plus 1 over 2 m is equal to 3. Multiply everything by 2, you're going to have m squared plus m is equal to 6. Remember, I'm multiplying by 2 by 2 by 2, so that you remove that. So you have got m squared plus m minus 6 is equal to 0. So you have got m, if you simplify this now, factorize, it's m minus 2, and the other one is m plus 3 is equal to 0. Therefore m is equal to 2, or m is equal to minus 3. Then just to create some space here, and then you say but log base 3 of x is equal to m. This means log base 3 of x is equal to 2. That's one of them. So x is equal to 3 to the power 2, x is equal to 9, or log base 3 of x is equal to minus 3, x is equal to 3 to the power minus 3, which is equal to 1 over 27. So this is how you would have solved it. You can prove it to the original, it will give you the answer. Now, we have come to the end of the lesson. As I said, if you require more of these videos, we can send them to you at a fraction of a cost. We have a full version of this question paper where we provide some suggested solutions for that question paper. Even we have got different other years that were written. Remember, in a year, mathematics is written 3 times, so we've got all of these. Thank you again. Call us if you need more information, and we'll gladly help you.